Hi and welcome to Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video, we're going to go through the Forex market outlook. We're going to highlight some key charts of interest, particularly the major currency pairs, and we're going to go from there. So first thing I'm going to do is bring in the heat map. So as you can see here, we've got the heat map in focus. Just get rid of this for a second so we can just focus in on that. There we go. So all we're looking at here is the strength and weakness table, how the currencies performed last week and what we can expect from them. So Euro obviously lost a little bit of value last week. Pound lost a little bit of value. Aussie is technically the weakest currency at the moment as it features as -6 on the charts. The strongest currency is the dollar at +5. So technically speaking, we should be shorting Aussie US dollar. However, both of these are extremes. So typically when a market is at an extreme, we do see a reversal. That is normal market conditions, and at the moment, but obviously not in normal market conditions. So we'll see. We might have to take that with a pinch of salt and just continue to short Aussie US dollar. But technically, the chart that we should be shorting is Aussie USD. Obviously, CAD has done nothing, Yen's done nothing, and Swissy has lost a little bit of value as well. So really, it's suggesting that we stick to buying the dollar at the moment. So you can see behind me there is the behind the Excel spreadsheet, we have the dollar index, and I've marked out a key area of interest all the way up at 103 and 102 because this is where the market has spiked into and failed to break above and is closed at similar areas around about the 102 here. So what I'm expecting to see is the market potentially continue to the upside next week, back up into this zone, and then see how the market reacts at that point, whether we get a similar sort of double top and then a continued down, or whether we break out to the upside as well. Okay, so I'm looking for a potential maybe short-term pullback continuation this week. If we go just dive into the 4-hour time frame, which is a time frame that we've been focusing on quite a lot. What's happened recently is the market broke to the upside after taking out this inverse head and shoulders pattern in here. Once that closed above, we've just seen the market continue to the upside. And the market is potentially putting in a high at this point because we've had 3 candlestick lower lows. So I'm expecting potentially maybe we'll head back towards this 100 area. If we do get back here, I'd expect to see dollar buying again as the market moves to the upside, targeting this key resistance zone. So I'm expecting some dollar strength to continue. And if we do get up into that 102, then I'm going to be looking for the potential for the market to move very similar to what we had over here. Because we are at that extreme. Typically, seasonally as well, April, dollar doesn't perform that well, although presidential cycles, which we are in, we're in the presidential cycle year, we do typically see dollar strength throughout that year. So it's a very interesting dynamic at the moment. Obviously, dollar is gaining value at the moment because stocks are falling and people are trying to, or investors are rushing to cash. So that's why the dollar could be potentially gaining some value in there. So it's very interesting dynamic, but stick with that 4-hour trend. If we do get to this area here, then don't buy the dollar anymore. Look for the market to react at that point. Okay, very similar if we go to euro US dollar. I've marked out a few areas already, but you can see this is the key lows where the market double bottomed and rallied from before. So I'm expecting the market to retest this zone, and we are starting to make those lower lows, lower highs. 2 areas of interest: 1.0838 and 1.0921. If the market gets back to here, I'll be looking for shorts. If the market reacts in here as well, we could look for early short positions into this key supporting zone through there. So again, following that dollar buying at that point. Pound US dollar, very similar. We're starting to just make lower lows recently. So we broke out this low in here, or should I say at least this low there. We've had a nice close below it at the moment, so we could expect pound dollar to move lower as well. We've got this sort of consolidation zone that the market's been working with. So after it moving sideways for so long, I'll be starting to see that break to the downside and head back towards that 115 area. We've got to be something that we take into consideration. Aussie US dollar, very much the same. Starting to see that market break to the downside. If we just go take a look at the weekly, key areas for me are around about that 5,800 and all the way down into sort of the 5,500 area. Okay, so again, watching that 4 hour, how does the market react at these key points? Are we going to see these lower lows continue, or are we going to see a break to the upside after that? That's what we're going to have to be watching here. Obviously, dollar index will be watched very closely as well, because if the dollar's breaking to the upside, then I'm expecting Aussie to continue down, despite the Australian dollar not featuring in the dollar index. We've still got to take on board that the dollar is gaining value at that point. Okay, so I'd mark up a few areas of interest, sort of around about the 6030s. If we push down earlier in the week, I'll be looking for the pullback continuation from this zone into these sort of levels that we've highlighted already. Another one of interest, obviously, is dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss could be heading back towards the we don't have much room to go, but could be heading back towards these key swing highs here as well, very much following that path of the dollar index, with the market forming those lower lows, inverse head and shoulders. We break above it here, the market hasn't looked back since. So if we start getting a pullback into sort of that 9,700, these sorts of highs, I'll be interested in taking a look at a long position in there, and then head towards these key highs back up here. Okay, so again, very similar, just looking to buy that US dollar on these major currency pairs. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. We'll look at some gold and gold pairs and things like that, and gold pairs, look at gold and other commodities later in the week. I hope you enjoyed this video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. Stay safe, hope you're all well, and we'll go through a few currency pairs this week. Okay, thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.